Hello and welcome to another episode of Hello from the Other Side from the Wednesday week. Today I'm joined by Al from the Qotpod. Is that right, Al?
Qotpod,
Qotpod.
Question of Trust podcast. Hi, Ash. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, so we're here to preview the upcoming Exeter-Sheffield Wednesday game. So Exeter are making the long journey, which it's a long journey. I've made the opposite way, up to S6. So I believe, Al, there's going to be nearly 1,000, if not a little bit more, Exeter supporters coming up to come and see the old ground, as we call her.
We've sold just under 900 tickets so far, so there'll be about 1,000 there. I think we had 1,200 last time.
So. Fantastic. I got to say, looking forward to it. Obviously, probably won't mind me saying this. We're at different stages in the league. Obviously, you're safe and having a great season, and we're trying to make up for a disastrous last few games, I've got to say.
I can honestly say you've been killing us in East Devon, and the vast majority of Devon, should I say, that is red and white. We were expecting slightly better results along the way because obviously it doesn't need to be said, but we are really rooting for Ipswich, Barnsley and yourselves at the moment.
Yeah, I bet, and it would be exactly the same for us on the red and white side of for our city. It would be for anyone playing them or anything like we'd be rooting. But I mean, obviously coming up all the way, you're not in the best of form, are you? Is that an understatement?
Certainly not in the last three games. Although we did beat Barnsley, I'm going to say we beat Barnsley home and away. Which was one of the highlights of the season. Some will probably think that we're on the beach, but it's probably more of the case that we've got a few injuries. For example, we had four key players out for the Derby game, and that included Kevin McDonald, who's joined us from Fulham, had his kidney out and he's rebuilding his career with us at the moment. So he was out injured. We also rested Sam Numbe, striker.
Top scorer, I believe, is it 15? I think he's got. If I'm rubbish at doing research, but that's what I've got.
He's one of our top scorers, and we also, for legal reasons, can't talk about another one of our good scorers and assist masters because presently he's not able to play football. So and that has had one of the impacts on our form. So to give you an example, we played from our academy, which we're super proud of, two 17-year-olds on the game the other night
against Derby.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Not we played one up front, a lad called Sonny Cox, who has got a future in football, definitely. The other one's just gone straight out of my head. Borges came on as a substitute in the second half, and he's quite a big, enthusiastic central midfielder, shall we say, and can play on the wing. So I think what it is a little bit is we are building for next season now. So because we are safe, and I think the manager is looking to, give some of these young kids, that's a bit disrespectful, but you know what I mean, a bit of a chance to play. So, and we were quite surprised to see Jay Stansfield back for the game because a couple of weeks ago he was stretchered off at Fleetwood away. And he's on loan from Fulham, and you probably know the story of taking over the number 9 shirt from his father, who passed with cancer, etc. So, and he's an all-action striker. So we were a little bit weakened, shall we say?
Well, I mean, for us, and obviously always listening to the upcoming opposition having some injury problems. Ours have been devastating in the last few weeks. We've lost key players. And the rumour is today that maybe Josh Windass may be coming back, might be 50-50 for the bench. So
Right.
that's a big boost for us. Obviously not for yourselves if he does, because he has been one of our better players this season. But
What about Cam Dawson? Is he not on the team?
oh, he
Best goalkeeper in League One.
he has history with Exeter City. He does. He's
Got
for us.
promoted. Hello.
Apologies, Apologies. I don't know.
Oh, bless you.
You're all right. We're still going. I can edit,
yeah.
I can edit that out. You're all right. Cam Dawson. Right. Sorry. Apologies. I don't know what happened there. Just
That's all right. So Cam Dawson's not playing, is he? Is he
Cam
injured?
Dawson. No, he's in. He's back in. So Cam Dawson, yeah, obviously for you guys had a great season last season. He's been at the club, I think longer than I can remember, and obviously we brought Stockdale in, so it's been a bit of a in and out between Stockdale and Dawson. At the minute, Dawson's been brought back in, so he is playing, but it's been for both keepers. They haven't had the best of games in recent weeks. So
Really,
at the minute he's the number one. But yeah, we know he'll probably get a good reception from you guys, your travelling supporters, for what obviously last season, which for us he needed. He needed to go out and play some football, and he obviously did at Exeter, which was great.
Yeah, and to be honest, he had a phenomenal season, and he's extremely popular, as you probably gauge from the game at Exeter, when the fans were cheering his name. I don't think he was even playing, was he?
No, it was Stockdale. It was Stockdale for the for the easy 1-1 draw that we got.
Yeah.
So, but obviously a little quick recap in the home game at Exeter. It was 1-1, a 94th minute winner. I wish a 94th equaliser from Callum Patterson. Obviously, and then we had the Captain Bannon went off 35th minute, something like that, and he was out for the next 5 or 6 games, I believe. So, yeah, I think we got away with a point on there. So it was.
And I'm going to confess that, I'm going to balance this because I live in the Midlands, and I've seen 40 games this season, but I think I missed that one and watched it on online, shall we say? So and looking back, we were our players were a little bit gutted on the pitch. So,
it wasn't. It wasn't a classic by Sheffield Wednesday standards at all. It was part of our 23 unbeaten this season. So, I mean, going away from home, you always want 3 points. But, I mean, whenever you can get a 94th equaliser, you'll take the point all day. Of course you will. And
of course you will.
And obviously it's helped us to get in the position we are today. I'll just, obviously, we said about your form and things, and obviously, I think it's you've lost the last 4. I think that you've lost straight 4 without a win. Oh, 5 actually, is it? I think with a draw.
Yeah, you're being polite. Yeah,
and I've got some stuff wrote down here. Like I said, my research is not good. So for everyone listening, your away form, you've played 21, you've only won 5, drawn 6, and lost 10 this season.
Yeah, we're not being a bad away actually. And if you want to do stats, I did a little check on the head-to-head, and you know what's coming, right? I was absolutely amazed by this stat. So out of the 13 games, you've won 4. We've drawn 2, and amazingly, we've won 7. And we must be your bogey team.
Oh, we've got a lot of bogey teams this season, especially this season. Well, I did the same, but because I'm obviously stats, you want to put it in your favour. I only did the last 2 meetings.
Yeah.
So we drew obviously in the reverse fixture in December, and then we beat you in 2021 in the 3rd round of the FA Cup at Exeter 2-0.
Yes.
So I'm going to take that as we are unbeaten against you, if that's all right.
But can I say that the last, I'd love this to happen again, because if you go on YouTube, this is really embarrassing, right? But Sheffield Wednesday fans witnessed a goal by Troy Archibald Henville. Now, I want to give you a little bit of history about what happened in the game, because there's two things that happened which were funny. Firstly, Troy scored. Now, he would be described, Troy, as Bambi on ice centre half, and he got the ball, and it's on YouTube. He got the ball in his own half and proceeded to run all the way up and score, right, and beating one of your defenders with an outrageous dummy, right, and it's had lots of views. So if you are of a weird mindset as a Wednesday fan, please go and have a look. But the other thing funny about that day was Paul Tisdale, who was then our manager. Now that was actually our highest finishing position. A bit of stats for you that season, and he brought himself on as a sub with 3 minutes to go. He hadn't told the team, right, or Marcus Stewart at the time, who was one of the senior players. And when he came to come on the pitch, right, all the Exeter fans are looking over, players and fans are looking over and going, "What's going on here?" And the manager brought himself on to retire because he played his first game apparently at your ground.
Ah, right. So did he have the full kit under his tracksuit, or what? Like, was he already? He knew he was going to come on, type of thing, like John Terry-esque, you know?
But it was a bit weird because he's an interesting character, because he was known for wearing his cravats and a bit of a Ted Baker, man from Ted Baker, because his best friend was the owner and founder of Ted Baker. But I don't know. I think he was just in a training gear, and it literally, as I say, it didn't let the players see the team sheet, and just came on. It was all registered, obviously.
I mean, for us, I mean, any of the listeners of a certain age, obviously, our manager Darren Moore was a big commanding centre half. So I think in some of the games we've had, I think we could have done with Darren Moore strapping his boots on, coming on for us. Some of the defensive errors we've had that's cost us points. It's been pretty horrendous. So that it won't go down to it won't. I think it'd go down quite well actually if you saw Darren Moore.
Yes,
coming on.
He's got links with Torquay though, isn't he? Is that right?
Yeah, ex-player at Torquay. Yes, yeah, I think he did start his career down there.
Yeah, can I say we don't mind Torquay.
It's the green half that you're not too keen on.
So our friends from and Cornwall, down there. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking off air before we started recording. There was a really good, interesting bit, which I obviously not a fan of Exeter, no disrespect, don't follow you or anything like probably a lot of people.
Yeah.
We were just talking about your number 31.
Yes.
Now, interesting story. Now, people listen to this. I quite like this story. So go on. I'll just tell the listeners the story of.
Okay, and there's some funny analogies on this. So, for a period of years, the number 31 player, and it relates to a game against Sunderland, which was our highest ever attendance of, please don't laugh, about 21,000. And it was one of our best cup runs, and because we're a fans-run club, so I know I've got that behind me, and I'm very proud of it. So you are talking to one of the owners. There's 4,000 of us that own the club, and what that means is we pay a direct debit each month. We get a vote. There's about 12 people that are on a board that are trustees that run it, but there's also another group of about 75 people, and we pay £19 a month, so 19.31. Right, you can pay more, and basically we pay the wages of the 1931 player. Now it's quite amusing because Norwood, who was at Ipswich, and Tranmere and Exeter, the striker, I had great pleasure once at Tranmere away when he was warming up, and I shout over to him, "I used to pay your wages." Right, and but the reason why we do it is because it was a way of encouraging investment in the club, because literally what you see is what you get. What we put into the club is, there isn't a big owner. It is literally the fans, and that the amount of hours that are done voluntary is amazing. So when you came down and watched the game, a lot of the people at the stadium volunteer for free and actually do the jobs, right? Obviously, there's paid jobs like groundsmen, etc., and players, etc., but you'll find a lot of volunteers. So, and it's just what we had to do 20 years ago when we were basically we went bust, and we had we didn't go bust, but we had no money. Yeah, it's quite an interesting story, very hand to mouth that we lived at the time.
So that's very different to obviously Sheffield Wednesday, who we've got an owner that has basically thrown a lot of money at it to get us to the Premier League, very close to it in 15, 16, and not. And then we've got players in League One that are on, well, if you hear the rumours, anywhere between 15 and 25 grand a week. So, which is obviously, I'm only talking about Bioban and our captain. So you look at that, and then obviously you look at Exeter and where they are, where they've come from. It is in footballing terms, different worlds, isn't it?
It is, and that's why the satisfaction of a team like us will be, getting one over on a team drawing or winning with you guys is, great for us in a way. But actually, we're now in a stage where we don't think fan ownership is perfect, because it's not. At the moment, we're selling out a football ground. Our ground's not big enough. We need to probably expand our stadium, and we know that we need to transition with paying better wages, shall we say, which we're able to do because of the amount of players we've sold. So for example, Ollie Watkins.
Aston Villa at the minute.
Aston Villa, we've made circa £5 million out of his transfer fees, because he started with us, went to Brentford, and then on, which has actually paid for our £3 million training ground, which has just been built. So, and we're trying to set ourselves up to be a League One Championship team, but it's going to take us 10 to 15 years from now until we get there, I would say, but we'll get there. So,
I mean, brilliant thing, like a story like that. I mean, obviously, like I say, our situation is totally different. We're not fan owned. We're owned by one person who has had his critics and still has his critics, even now, with things that's happening at the club, on the pitch, behind the scenes. So it's a strange one for us fans. Obviously, we want the best. We want the best players that we can afford, and at the minute, we're close, but hopefully, if things go all right in the next few weeks, we'll be all right. But
and a sobering fact is, like, I am, because Qotpod is more about fans-owned clubs, not just Exeter. I had a look at your company report before I came on.
God, don't. Everyone's just turned off there. We've gone. What have we gone? 18 minutes now. Cheers.
I know, I know, but we have to trade in the black, and let's just say, but we've only got a small budget. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, Well, I dread to think what our budget is, and I know we haven't spent much on transfers lately because we haven't been able to. So I think this season, I think we've only spent on one player, Malik Wilkes, which was about 300 grand. I think was the rumor, which is peanuts really even for League One. But we've had to deal it. Like, we've got quite a few loans and freebies and things like that, just purely because I think we've overspent with financial fair play and obviously being caught out with that. So he's tried to do it a bit more
But the potential you've got, everybody can see it. It's I personally love coming to your ground. I'm not just saying it. I really do like going because it's a superb stadium. And I can remember years ago when you guys were in a better place, and it will happen. It will happen. You will get there.
Hopefully. So on the field, we'll go back to on the field with Gary Caldwell. Is that how long's Gary been there now? Is he this season he's been brought in? Was it
right? Yeah. We've obviously been on a crest of a wave, knocking on the door with Matt Taylor. We've had 3 years of failure of getting up, which has been painful. Particularly losing 4-0 to Northampton at a COVID playoff final. And then we got ourselves promoted. He left the club to go to Rotherham, just up the road from you. And Gary Caldwell came in at Christmas. And it's obviously a big transition for us because as a club, we keep managers for quite a long time. We work on a basis of many years. It's not like hire and fire, partly because we can't afford to. So he's come in. He's changed the way we play. And we've lost some players as we always do. But we're in a transition. We're playing, as I say, he's brought in, trying to think, 4 players so far. Some of them have hit the ground running. One of them's struggling a little bit, and one lad's on loan. So you'll see a couple of young loanees one's from Southampton, Kegs, South African lad. You can't miss him. He's a right character. And then there's a lad called Joe White that's come down from Newcastle. So he's brought that team in, changed the way we play. There's a bit more to do, as you can see by some of our results at the moment, but we're not panicking. So it's the long game.
Yeah, it's not like you've been shipping goals for fun either, is it? So I mean, it's like you said, like you spoke about Plymouth, the Dart. Is it a derby? Should we call it a derby?
Yeah. So a former player on a podcast recently who scored a goal in the last minute at Plymouth a few years ago described it just like the Milan derby. It's not pretty. It is not nice, and he talked about team coach getting bricked and all sorts. Right. It's not a pretty derby, and anybody that doesn't know about it will go, oh yeah, it's only 2 West Country clubs, but no, there's not a lot of love. So yeah, we've lost 2 derbies, but to be fair, Gary Caldwell on the first one, it was only his second game. We lost 4-2 down at Plymouth. And then they managed to beat us 1-0 without a shot on target because we scored an own goal. But so our form is going to change, we hope, this Saturday.
No, well, there's only one person on this podcast that hopes that, and because I don't. I hope we continue. Obviously, we got a good win against Bristol Rovers, 2-1.
Yeah, good result that.
Yeah, well, it was a must win, just for us, the glimmer of hope that we haven't totally balls this season up. So it's a good one. We've spoken about players. So who's the player that we should look out for? Who's been in? Obviously, you said Sam Nombe is the top scorer. Was he rested or is he injured or? Or is there someone else that we should look out for just for our
yeah, of course. I think we had he had a knock, and I think he was rested a little bit, but we've lent on him quite a lot. Right, so who to look at? You've got I personally really like him. Our left-sided centre half, Alex Hartridge, come through our academy. And again, we'll play 5 or 6 players probably who are homegrown from our academy. We always do. It's just the way that it has been. So left-sided centre half's quite good. In right wing back, Joshua Key. we turned down £1 million bid for him in the last transfer window. He's likely not to sign a contract and go on a Bosman. He's quite good. Tricky, pacey, can score a goal, needs probably a little bit more end product, but he's getting there. And then Archie Collett, sorry,
no, I was just going to say, do you, just on that with you saying you're right wing back, do you play 3 centre backs? Do you play like a 3-5?
Yeah, we play three centre backs, 2 wing backs, come wingers, depending on who we're playing, and then we'll probably be playing 2 up top.
Yeah, same Sheffield Wednesday have been playing most of this season. We're the same. We play with 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, midfielders, and then 2 up top. So should be same sort of formation lineup.
Yeah, and you'll probably see big Jamal Blackman in goal. Although we've rotated 4 goalkeepers this season. So
blimey! I thought we were bad rotating 2. Never mind. No,
it's bit for injury reasons. So and don't laugh. We were a bit short at the start of the season. Our squad was quite small, and we had to play our goalkeeping coach, who's now a goalkeeping coach at Rotherham with Matt Taylor. So
he had to strap the boots on and have a game.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. That's. I mean, who's ours? Ours is Adriano Basso. I think is our goalkeeping coach. I think. So he's an ex Premier League, I believe. I don't know much about him, to be honest, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But so on that then, so Exeter's view of Sheffield Wednesday. Who are the players you're going to be looking out for on the Sheffield Wednesday side? Who do you think our danger men, or who could cause you some problems?
I think all your forward line could. Let's be honest. So we're going to look out for Cam Dawson because he got the history, got us promoted. I'm going to put a little shout out only because I'm curious. Is it Jaden Brown? Is he with you?
He is with us, but unfortunately, I don't think you'll probably see him. He's been on the bench a few times, but he's played. I think he started about 2 or 3 games, scored 1 goal, really important one. Right, he's not got many minutes this season. He's been very much a bit part player, so he'll probably be on the bench because with our injuries, he's been on for the last couple of games, but not actually featured that much. So,
intriguingly, he came down on loan to us. But I'm not sure he played, and he was with us for quite a period of time. So I was curious what he was doing. So that's interesting. So your forward line, and obviously Barry. Everybody knows about Barry, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think that's the name that stands out in all the League One. Other fans of League One teams always seem to see, but I mean. Yeah, you can't argue he's a great player for us. Probably not. He's in the last 6-7 games. He's got a couple of goals and 3 assists, something like that. So he's in a bit of form, but obviously it's hasn't been the other 10 players haven't always stepped up as well. So it's a bit hard on him. He can't do it all himself. So hopefully, should be good.
And we're hoping your pitch is quite big, isn't it? So
it is. Yeah,
that'll probably help our passing possession game. So we're technically, we like to pass it around a little bit, probably a bit too much sometimes. But yeah, the pitch will help us, I think.
Oh, that's good because sometimes, I mean, we've played. I mean, we lost against Burton last Saturday. Absolute disgusting. I'd say this disgusting game by us. It wasn't good at all. Yeah, and we resorted to a bit of long ball desperation. Got a penalty as well in the last 10 minutes, which made it 3-2. But just hoofing it, which is not something we've done a great deal of this season. But it was a bit desperation. So hopefully we'll not see that. We do like to get it down a bit, and obviously, like we say, we've got Bannon in the middle, who's been really good. Got a goal against Bristol the other last night. Last night. Yeah, last night. Yeah. So apologies. So yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. I'm a season ticket holder, so I'll be there.
I'm coming as well. I've got my father coming. Bless him. He hasn't been to many games this year. He's in his 80s. He's come back to the UK, so he's coming up. And I'm bringing my 13-year-old lad and potentially my 18-year-old daughter is coming as well. And you'll find we're quite good fun, Exeter fans. We're a little bit noisy when we want to be. So
good. It's always good. It's always good to have a good away following. I mean, for me, I sit in the cop, which is bang opposite the away stand. So it's good to have the so-called banter, the singing and all that. It always does help with the atmosphere at Hillsborough when the away team do bring not only just a good following, a loud following, which we have had from some of the League One teams that have brought not thousands, but still make a noise, which is great. It all adds to the game of football for me.
We tend to be quite noisy, and there's not many places we go, even with the bigger grounds, where we get outsung. So the pressure's off for us on the weekend. It really is. Yeah. So we'll take it in a very relaxed way, hopefully, in terms of enjoying the game, should I say?
Well, that's good, because I hope you do, because obviously you don't want a draw against us and for the other team, Plymouth, to get a couple of points. So what we could do with is you just turning up the 11, just already on the beach type of thing, and just let us score, if that's all right.
Yeah. Can I just say, I think the Saturday afterwards, Ipswich Town might be saying that as well. So because we're away at Ipswich the weekend after, and then probably we've got Morecambe at home, last game of the season. So we'll probably win that one, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
You haven't had the best running, have you? To say
it's been horrific. It was designed by a Plymouth Argyle fan. It must have been. So far, in the recent weeks, we've played Barnsley, which we won, Bolton, who beat us, and I think we were still celebrating their Johnston Paints victory because they did a really good job there. And then obviously we've got yourselves coming up and Ipswich. I mean, who could have predicted that one?
I think it's probably, if you'd have said that you were a bit closer to the relegation, you saw those. What was it? You played. I think it was the top 6. You played 5 out of the top 6 in 4 weeks or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
You'd have seen that and gone, that is horrific.
And by the way, Peterborough away. Who could forget Peterborough away? So
they're up there as well. Yeah, they're pipping Derby at the minute for one of the playoffs. So they're doing well. So we're gonna start wrapping it up, Al, and I'm gonna. I always do this. I'm gonna bug you for a bit of a prediction. It could be a win for Wednesday if you want.
My heart says we're going to win 2-1, right? My head says we'll probably lose 3-0.
3-0. I will take the 3-0 all day. At the minute, I will take 1-0, a deflected off your centre half's left buttock into the top corner. Anything, I think, at the minute. We had, like I said, we had a good result against Bristol, but it's not been pretty at times. So I think we just need the 3 points. I think we're going with, and obviously if we do miss out on the automatics, we carry a bit of form into the playoffs. So for me, a win.
Good luck.
Oh yeah, I think we're going to need it. But thank you very much, Al. This has been Hello from the Other Side. Chat with Exeter City. I was going to say fan, but fan and owner. I can say that, can't I?
One of the owners. Yeah.
One of the owners, yeah. One of the many owners. But great to have you on, Al. Thank you very much. And I'll leave you there. And thank you very much.
Good luck for the rest of the season as well.
Cheers, Al. We'll need it.
Cheers. Take care.
Hello from the other side. balls,
ghoulies,
chaps,
tackle,
knackers,
chaise longue and armchairs.
dangleberries.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level.
Cojones,
Pebbles,
gonads,
plums.
family jewels, brass clankers.
The 4th generation trimmer features our cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It's also waterproof and has a 4K LED spotlight if you need a more advanced shave.
Eggs,
Itchy and Scratchy, Mitchell Brothers,
jewels,
Hanging Brain,
twin bank robbers,
Chaps, Walnuts,
gobstoppers,
Gooseberries.
stabilizers.
The Manscaped 4.0 bundle. It reduces your risk of getting an ingrowing hair, it keeps them clean, it keeps them tidy, and it also increases your chance of fellatio by about 15%. That works out about 2% if you're married. So, you know. Anyway, enter the code TWW20 into the checkout. That's TWW20 into the checkout, and you can get yourself a 20% discount. Not too shabby, eh?
For our European listeners, Velata, Testicular,